Hey team, do you ever feel like when you go to work, trainees are just trainees and you can't get past the fact that it feels like you're herding cats? Alright, I'm going to try to clear this up because sometimes this job gets so overwhelming that it feels like you're not doing anything right. So I would like to kind of smash that so that when you go to work, you realize you're doing more than just herding cats, if you have that feeling. Every trainee has a story. And some of these trainees have been hurt by family, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And some of these trainees are coming in on their last leg. And when I say last leg, I'm talking about they're still contemplating suicide. And you have to understand that the energy that comes off you, that you're bringing to the flight, can kind of make or break their future of who they're going to be in the United States Air Force. So every day I come in, and look, I'm a hard MTI, but I know that it's more than just being firm on my trainees. It's about what kind of leader do I want them to be, and what kind of leader qualities that I'm trying to share with them so they adopt it as their own. So as soon as I come in, yeah, let's go, get up, let's go, don't even touch your beds. Let's go, you gotta get dressed first, let's go. And then when you get dressed, go ahead and start utilizing the latrine, fill your water bottles up, and then get in the hallway. If you have time, go in and start making your beds after all those are done. 341's a month list, let's go! That's the kind of person I am. Now what am I doing? I'm coming in with positive motivation, a positive environment, and I'm bringing that enthusiasm into their life. So they're like, okay, yeah, let's go. Because if they're motivated, I don't have to force them to be motivated. It becomes intrinsic on themselves at that point. And that's what I'm trying to do, because it makes it easier on me. But also, I don't want them to be so scared of me that they can't tell me that they're hurt. Not tell me that they need to talk to a chaplain or talk to a section chief or talk to the commander or whatever the case is. So in that, I'm their MTI, but I'm also their wingman. It may not always seem like I'm their wingman, because anybody that knows me knows how nutty I am. But I care. So it can feel like you're herding cats if you're always spitting threats. And you're always telling what you're gonna do to them if they don't. So I would get rid of that. Now, depending on how you were trained, that might be something that you've adopted and it might work for you. I'm always looking for what I could do for them long term. Because remember, they're gonna remember you. And some of them are gonna remember you more intimately because of what you've done and what you said to them. So I want you to understand how powerful your words are. So number one, give that positive energy. Number two, don't be so threatening all the time. If they mess up, they mess up. Give them the business, but you're on their team. In the early weeks of training, I'm merciful because they may not have received all the information. And I always tell them this. I always make everything about me. I always say, why did you do that? How could you do that to me? Why does your clothing drawer look like that? Why are you creating a bad day for myself? All I want to do is have a good day and you're not helping me. They have to understand that everything they do affects you. And if you don't catch it, you're going to get in trouble. That's all I want you to understand. If you don't catch it, you're going to get in trouble by your leadership, because they're going to be walking the door. So you kind of got to bring that home to them. You have to bring the honor, and they have to be totally on your team. So here's a question. Has your flight adopted you as part of the flight? make it feel like you're hurting cats because they're so random in all their mistakes that they're making, it's because you're not on their team. If you were on their team, they'd think before they acted. They'd be like, oh, that's going to hurt Sergeant Linder. I can't do that. You have to make them think twice before they do something so that they don't betray you. When they make a mistake, bring up betrayal. And then tell them that no matter how many times they betray you, you will never betray them because you have integrity. And you will never stop giving your best to them. Tell them that you'll never quit on them. Because sometimes these trainers have heard or have been demonstrated to them by their families that they quit on them. Remember what kind of person you are. Now, in facilitation, I might dial it back a little bit, but that discipline is going to be on point. Important statements? No. That facilitation will always be on point. Classes, drill classes, dorm classes, whatever, they're always going to be on point with discipline. But always let them know that everything they do affects you. So just remember that. Another thing that I do, so it doesn't seem like it's like hurting cats and they're all making mistakes, is I always display everything throughout the dormitory. So week activity schedules, the WAC, I'll put that in a binder for everybody to read. Sometimes it'll save you because you might get distracted or whatever like that, and they have say clothing issue, and you forgot to pack them, and you'll have somebody say, hey sir, do we need to pack before we go to bed? And then they'll, oh, yes, yeah, you do. Oh, good. It's good on you. So I try to give them all the information. Like by my EC stand, I put all the information about EC and I'll put it on the wall. I won't put it on a bulletin board. I'll put it on a wall. And it's not a demerit. And I'll put as much information as I can to include the checklist and all the evaluations they're going to receive, even progress checks. I'll leave it out. I'll say, hey, these are free reading materials. If you want about recruit living area and what I'm going to do, it's in this packet right here. It's on the wall. If you want to know what the drill PC is going to be or the skills development PC, read it right here. These are things that you can read on a Sunday. If you're not going to go to church, pick up that reading material right there so that you're prepared. I give them everything. So when they start reading it, they're going to start understanding it and they'll get it right the first time, or it'll be a refresher when you teach it to them to the first time because they've already read it. It's great. Last but not least, you have to remember that this is not a game. You are giving them life lessons. You're almost like a parent to them. And some of them have never had a male parent before because the male parent was absent. Or they were there, but they weren't available. So you got to keep that in mind. Remember what you're doing for them. They're going to copy you. If they're going to copy you, let them copy the best side of you. The Air Force side of the core values that you learned when you were going through basic. So just keep that in mind. So, in summary, in conclusion, remember, it's the energy that you give off of positivity, knowing that when they do a good job, they look out for you, that they adopt you as part of the team, teaching them to not betray you, and give them all the information up front. And last but not least, I didn't talk about it, but be humble. If you make a mistake, say, hey, look, trainee, I apologize. I messed up. I'm going to fix it. And then ask them, say, hey, be like, hey, I missed this appointment. That is absolutely my fault. I will do my absolute best to get my leadership involved. And I promise you, I will never do this again. And that's all I got. God bless. Take care. Until next video.